Hey guys, how are you doing? Alicia, hello. Eliza, hi. Yes, it was an absolutely gorgeous day in Minnesota. Unfortunately, my task didn't take me outside very much. I wish I could have been outside working on stuff, but it's the way it goes with freelancing. So, Grammy Karen, good evening. Wind warnings. Yeah, we had our wind warnings Saturday night. It was all day Saturday through Saturday night. So you're getting what we had before. We had like 50-mile-an-hour winds or something like that. So hello, gardening in the north from Ontario. Hi. Good evening. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey, the Shepherd's TV. Good morning. Good morning to you. Are you in Australia? If it's good morning, well, that would be kind of, no, it'd be afternoon. Well, yeah, it would be morning there. So, oh, super. I'm glad. So glad, Eliza. Thank you. Hey, Henry's honey. Hi from Texas. Good to see a fellow Canadian. It's so fun to see you guys from all over the world. It really is. Oh, from the Philippines. Okay. Well, welcome to you. I've actually been to the Philippines. My younger daughter was a foreign missionary, and one of her posts was on Camigan Island off of Mindanao. And she was having some problems with her health, and so I had to go out there. And yeah, it's a long trip. Long trip from Minnesota. It was, I don't know, 17 hours of flying time or something. So, but it was beautiful country. Beautiful, beautiful country. Hey, Megan. Hi. Going Green Mom. Yes, yes, you're very welcome to be joining us. So what's everybody been up to this last week? We have, hello, the overworked gardener, hello. Our weather has been like all over the place. You know, a week ago it was cold and we had stacks of snow, everything. And through the week, things started melting, started warming up a little bit, got above freezing. And today was in the 50s, and the rest of the week is like in the 60s. So, going Green Mom, I went to, this was, let's say 5.5 years ago, I think. I went to the Philippines. So, to be with my daughter. So, and no, it wasn't like a glamorous resort or anything. I was actually sleeping on the floor of a bamboo hut. So, yeah, it was for a couple weeks. So it was quite the experience. But it was a beautiful country, incredibly beautiful. Oh, well, say hi, happy birthday to Caitlin for me. She hasn't been on for a while, but say happy birthday to her for me. Sorry, my back is like hurting. I've been doing apples all afternoon. I did apple juice and applesauce. So I steamed them in my juicer, and I got 5 pints of juice, and then the apple sauce that I got from the apples that were left over, I got the equivalent of 7 pints, but I put a lot of them in half pints. So I just put up about 15 jars of stuff. So, oh, oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Well, hello, Caitlin. I hope you're having a great day. And happy birthday to you for Friday. You just started your yard garden too. Okay, great. Hello, Donna. Having your first cold snap in Georgia. Okay. Yes, I know. Crazy weather. We were down in the single digits with 9 inches of snow. It is now all melted, and we're going to be in the 60s this week with lows in the 40s. So yeah, it's like all over the place. And then cold front coming in on Sunday, and Monday will be way back again below freezing. So You know, it's crazy. Um, oh, just made fudge. Awesome. Oh, you're welcome, Alicia. You think the weather's been crazy everywhere? Yes. It was 37 overnight over the weekend, mid 7. I know. It's like, can it make up its mind or not? And then another hurricane in the Caribbean. Oh my gosh. It looks like it's going to go over central Mexico, though. So I think I was looking at the jet streams and the way the wind was going and everything, and it looks like there's too much coming from the north towards the Gulf, from the Atlantic as well as across the states, that is going to prevent it from coming up into the states. So I think it may cross Central America and go into the Pacific or something, I don't know, but it's done crazier things. I mean, it could go in there and then come back out and reform. I mean, it's like, but it's up to what do they call it, Eta? Because it was Zeta, and now it's ETA, Eta. It's crazy. Kai Faith Haven Farm, hello, welcome to you. Yes, it is your first live. Oh, Carol from Western Kentucky. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you. There's a lot of people from Western Kentucky. Let's see, the overworked gardener, yeah. And that's just the beginning, you know? So I know exactly, Henry's saying, the plants in the garden, I still have things that I wanted to be done. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm not feeling that great this right now, so I'm not sure what this week is going to bring. But yeah, exactly, Alicia. The hurricanes. Yep. Oh, did you find one? Did you get that card, Eliza? So that would be fun. Yeah. No, you know, anytime you're over in my direction, give me a call. You have my number now. So yeah, be glad to see you. Hey, Christina. Oh, yeah, I'm just, I feel like I might be heading into some more pulmonary edema, but I don't know, and I'm trying to do everything I can to keep from getting there. So, if you guys could pray for me that I don't end up there, because that just puts me in the hospital. So, I'm trying to take care of myself, but that's why I don't know if I'm going to get this stuff done this week outside or not, if I just have to rest, but we'll see. Oh, good. Oh, good, Eliza. I'm so glad. Thank you, Cafe. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's the weather's just nuts. So when all the snow came, most of my garlic came in the mail, and it was like, I can't plant it now under 9 inches of snow. So now this week, the snow's now all gone, and the garden is bare again. There's no snow out there, and it's warming up. I'm hoping to get my garlic out there, the rest of it that I've got out there. So thanks, Alicia. Zeta caused some damage in Georgia. You know, it swept through so fast, but it was, I think, stronger than anybody anticipated. And yeah, it left a lot of damage out there. So thanks, Eliza. Start a new show or book and relax. Oh, that sounds good. Thank you, Gardening in the North. Yeah, I have options for what I need to get finished. So, I mean, I could do it in the spring. It'd be better than trying to kill myself right now, right? Thank you, Megan. Yes, I will. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Good reminders too, and everything. So, some of the things that I have been preserving this last week are, like I said, right now I just did apple juice and applesauce, and I think I'd done them a week ago when we were talking about apples. So I didn't get to the orchard that I absolutely love. I didn't get out there, but I came across a fabulous deal at my local grocery store for not Braeburns, Honeycrisp apples. Normally they're like over $3 a pound for Honeycrisp, and I got them for $1.29 a pound. So I got 3 bags, like the paper bags, the half peck size. So I got 1.5 pecks, and I just processed all of them this afternoon. But they were, yeah, it created a lighter color juice, very light, and because I peeled them all, I didn't. So, oh, our son Eliza, that's so great. Hey Deb, yeah, and so because I peeled them, the applesauce is like absolutely gorgeous, but it gave me a lighter juice too. So if I'd left the skins on for the juicing, I probably would have gotten a little deeper color. But I mean, the flavor is there, and that's all that counts. You know, it's like it's amazing. Also, finally got to some of the things that I had to pull out of my garden really, really quickly. It was like around the end of September, I think, beginning of October. So it's been at least a month that I had to pull stuff out because of a hard freeze. It wasn't just a frost in September, but we were getting hard freezes. And hey, TJ Preps, hello. So, you know, I had to go out and grab, like, you know, dig up all the carrots and get everything else in. And so the other thing I did was like a quick rinse and put them in a huge bag and just stuffed them in the refrigerator. The same with all my bunching onions. So, I mean, I had like this huge bag of bunching onions, and it was, you know, just like taking up so much room in my refrigerator, but just one of those tedious tasks that is like just never going to get to it. So, anyway, this weekend I got to them. And hey, Kim Winkler, hello, how are you? So anyway, I cut up some to have like green onions cut up in the refrigerator for like salads and eggs and stuff like that. So I put some in there. For the bunching onions. Then the rest I cut short, and I actually have them fermenting. And they're going to be more like a pickled onions than anything. So right now they've been fermenting in just salt water, but for 2 days, and now I have to add some sugar and rice vinegar to them tonight. So I'll let them go another day, and then I can put them in the refrigerator. So then anyway, so I got that whole bag taken care of, and that took a while. Then I got all the carrots taken care of. So I have 1 quart jar of just like all the little short stubby ones. I just have those in a quart jar of water that are just for eating and munching on. And then I took another quart jar and put a bunch of sticks in there, carrot sticks, and fermented them. And I added, it's the first time I've done these, so I'm actually doing Art and Anna's fermenting class. So I'm trying to learn some things and trying to explore and experiment with all this stuff. So hey, Sunny Preps. I have several books on fermenting. I haven't really dove into them to find them, but this was a recipe that Art and Anna provided. So so other than the salt, I put in ginger, some fresh ginger, and onions and garlic, I think. Yes. And so we'll see how those end up tasting. So they're starting to bubble a little bit and starting to get kind of gassy. So we'll see how those go. And then let me see. I had saying your 4 and 6-year-old grandsons are coming this weekend. Nice. I know. A fermenting crock. I have not. Oh, that would be good. I think that would be great for doing like massive amount of pickles or sauerkraut, that type of things. If it's a big crock, um, then so I've got those 3 jars. I've got 2 pints of the onions fermenting and one of the carrots. So we'll see how those go. And then the rest of my carrots I canned. And I used a recipe from one of my books, so I've never used this one before. So we'll see how it goes. But it's mint and garlic and salt, cooked in, pressure canned in with the carrots. So I got all of those. So I took care of all of my carrots for the garden, or from the garden, which I felt really good about. So getting those 2 huge bags out of my refrigerator, now I can actually put some food in there that I'm eating. you know, that's you got balls fermenting lids. Oh, okay, very cool. You're gonna start adding ferments into my diet. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've been doing kombucha for years, but just fermenting some foods. And last year I did one, and I'm going to do it again. It was apples and cranberries, and I think pecans, and I thought there was some shredded carrots in there, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it was, and then a bunch of other seasonings. It was kind of like a real, like a holiday type of flavor to it. But it was so good. Oh my goodness, it was great. Hey, TJ Preps. I don't know if you missed a whole lot, but so anyway, so I've been doing that. I made cranberry sauce because the cranberries are out now, and I've been wanting to do that for the last 4 or 5 years. And I keep buying the bags of cranberries, and I never get to it, and then they go bad. And I'm always upset with myself for just wasting that food. And so I actually did it this year, and it was like so easy. It's like, why did I put that off so much? But I added, other than just cranberries and sugar, I didn't use nearly as much sugar as what they call for. They call for like every cup of cranberries, they put half a cup of sugar. It's like, oh my goodness. So I did 6 cups of cranberries, and I think it was maybe 1 cup of sugar. And but then a couple of years ago, I had 2 winters ago, I spent a lot of time dehydrating like all of my orange peels. And I don't know. Sunny Prep had snow. Yes, I did hear that area was going to snow out there. Kim, what really actually happens is that the fermentation process, the SCOBY and everything else, it ends up like taking the sugars and eating it in the way that it transforms it. So it's not like you're drinking sweet tea anymore. It's actually fermented, and so the sugar content is really, really low. I have a friend who has a really good friend who's a nurse that really looked into that because she is diabetic too, and so she was like, no, it gets transformed in that way. So there's not that much sugar, if any, left at all. So I know, Donna, it was like so great, the cranberries, and it was like, oh my gosh, so good. But anyway, a couple winters ago, I spent a lot of time dehydrating like orange peels and lemon peels and lime peels. And what I did is I dehydrated, got them really dry, and then ground them up. So I have jars of the powder that I can just add to things for flavor or whatever. So anyway, I used that with my cranberry sauce, and I just put like 2 teaspoons of orange powder in there. It's like, oh my gosh, the flavor just blew up like crazy. It was so good. It was so good. And then a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg in there. And so it's not like just your straight sweet cranberry sauce. So it was like amazing and so easy to do. And the cranberries cook down pretty quickly and so easy, and I just canned them, and it was great. It was great. I love that. Your dad made yours. Usually you got the meat grinder. He used to grind them, but never made it before. Megan, are you talking about cranberry sauce or in a crock? A naughty kitten, yes. Oh, yes, Eliza, it was yummy. So the carrots I pressure canned, but the cranberry sauce I water bath. Actually, I use my steam can, but it's the same thing as water bath canning. So I know, Donna, it was like, I thought, well, it's like, throwing all of these away when I'm eating oranges or cuties or, whatever you want to call them and different things. And, you use lemons for baking or whatever. And it's like, if you're not using all the peels, it's like, couldn't I take them and do something with them? So I did. Just dehydrated them up and ground them up in my little spice grinder. And they've been keeping really well. But I have them mostly, well, the orange, because I have more orange, I have that in a pint jar, and the others are in half pint jars. But I also put like a moisture absorber in there so that they wouldn't get rock hard, and it would help to keep it a little fresher in there. Meat grinder cranberries. Oh, okay. Hey, Julie. Oh, thank you. I hope you had a good time. I did get your message. So cranberry sauce, and I had a fresh pineapple that needed to be taken care of, and so I actually canned up a couple jars of pineapple. So I had quite a mix, so a lot of fruit stuff, but I did cranberries and pineapple and apples, applesauce, apple juice, and carrots and onions. Yeah, just over the weekend. I was like, okay, I think I'm good for a little bit. The only thing left I have to can are my butternut squash, and so those would be left. But all right, our main topic for tonight, is everybody kind of in here? We only have 16. I wonder what's happening with everybody. So did everybody get the notice? So I'm just wondering, don't have that many people here, but that's okay. That's okay. I love all of you guys. I'm glad you're here. If anybody, yeah, I know the butternuts can sit for a little while. I don't have any type of cold storage for them now that they're cured, but but they can last at room temp. Okay. Oh, that's true, Sunny. That's possibly true. Yes. You can eat apple pie filling tomorrow. Ooh, yum. Good for you. So, there's a lot of people that haven't been doing raised beds that want to, and sometimes you just don't know how to get started and what to do. So, oh, well, that's good to know. So that's why mine always go bad when I put them in the fridge. I get it from the store. It's like if I don't use it within a couple weeks, it's like it goes bad. Hey, Gil. Oh, wow. That was a long trip. I'm glad you made it home safely. But yes, raised beds. So, the most common raised beds to build out there are out of wood. And I use wood, I use untreated pine, but there's so many different things you can do, and so many things you can get creative with. And basically, the most important thing you want to keep in mind is that that whatever you're using is not going to leach anything into the soil to give you problems for your food. And that's really the thing. So there's many different things. We're going to talk about some different woods first, but I first want to get like a hands up or thumbs up or something, or a yes or I do, or whatever you want. First of all, who has raised beds already? And then my second question will be, hi, Caitlin, you're on. Hello. Okay. Sunny, you've got some beautiful raised beds. You do. Oh, you turned 18. Oh, sweet age. That's so great. Okay. And then how about those of you who want raised beds but don't really know what you can use or how to do it? So Christina and Donna, TJ Preps, okay, Alicia, you want some raised beds? Okay. I'm not going to describe like how to build them or anything like that, but just give you some ideas of maybe what you can use, especially right now with lumber being so expensive. And we don't know if it's going to go down in the spring. We hope it does. But okay, Christina, that's awesome. Oh, Sunny, that's awesome. Glad that you found your property. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Okay, you want more? Very good. Awesome. Okay, the most common is wood. Now there's a few of the woods that are going to last a lot longer. They're not like forever. Excuse me, they're not like forever woods. I need a drink here. The cedar and redwood are probably going to be your two longest lasting woods. Especially when it's on the elements, it's in the heat and the cold, and if they get wet and all this kind of stuff. So, Eliza, you think you like how you did? You're just missing the lumber. Yeah. Yeah, but just if you can, like, through the winter, start getting creative and trying to find different things that you could possibly use and do. And so cedar and redwood, very expensive. They're going to probably last maybe 15, 20 years in your garden or something like that. But, you still have to replace them at some point. So, the price was at least triple, if not quadruple, the cost of pine even before the price of wood went up. So I figured, if my pine lasts 7 years, I can do, in 20, 30 years with my pine for cheaper than I can for or the same cost that it would be for cedar or redwood or whatever. So anyway, that's an option. Some other woods that are still more expensive, but it's like sometimes if you can find, if you've got some land and you've got these trees there and you can find somebody who can maybe mill them for you or something, that's always a cheaper way to go, especially if you can do some kind of deal. Like Sunny, you're moving to 10 acres. I don't know if you have woods there or not, but if somebody can come and cut down some trees for you, go pick them out. We can cut them down, mill them for you, and you split the wood. Give him some of the wood for his effort or whatever, and you take what you need. That's an option. But some of the other woods are hemlock, black cherry, white oak, burr, chestnut, black locust, osage orange, fir, and then pine, of course, pressure-treated pine, and then some pallets. But okay, so pine. There's the old pine. So back in 2004, they changed up the chemical usage of pressure treating. So yeah, you're definitely an animal person, Eliza. That's so great. Yeah, use the raised beds as actually as landscaping. For like you said, strategically put them around your front yard or something, and make them beautiful, and kind of have them as a landscaping thing. And you can, line them up in the backyard or whatever. So there's so many things you can do with them. It doesn't have to look like just a huge garden. Um, the pressure treating right now, the new thing since 2004, they took out all the creosote and the arsenic, and they had copper and chromium in there, and so they stopped using those for residential use. So those were the creosote and the arsenic were the biggest things. So you don't want to have that in there. So if you don't know if the wood that you're getting was before 2004 or not, let's say somebody has a stack in their garage and they're like, hey, I got some wood here if you want to have this. And it's pressure treated, and it's like, well, if they don't know how old it is, then, but that's all that you have, then I would line the beds with some heavy duty plastic so that can't leach into it at all. So it's always an option that you can do. Now, pressure treated pine, the new stuff that doesn't have the arsenic and all that stuff in there, it does have copper in it, but it's very, very low in toxicity. But if you have an issue with copper, then don't use pressure treated pine. Using pallets, you have to be careful because you have to know the source. Like, what were the pallets used for? What did they hold? Did they hold bags of fertilizer that were kind of leaking out all over? Did they hold, anything that had chemicals on it? So that's where you just really, really want to be careful with that. So, yep, you lined them. Very good, Monty. That's awesome. You have green painted metal raised beds. Ooh, that I didn't come across, so I'm not sure. Hey, Mac, how are you doing? I won't call you any names, I promise. Yep, absolutely. Know your sources. Yeah, I use just regular pine, untreated pine, and it lasted 7 years. It's because, we also have, it's buried in snow for half the year too, but it lasted 7 years before, and they're falling apart, and I need to rebuild them. I started a couple of them this year, but that was supposed to be my project this fall, was finishing all my beds. And but yeah, sure, Alicia, that's fine. Okay, I will get to that, TJ Preps. Yeah, so I don't get out. I'll lose my place. So, but yes, be careful of your pallet source. You can use corrugated aluminum. That would probably be about the same as galvanized metal, I would think. They said corrugated aluminum is fine, it's safe for gardening. They said that the zinc coating on the galvanized aluminum, the galvanized metal, it has a zinc coating on it, and it requires acid to break that down. Said that most garden soils are very neutral in their acidity, and so that there's little to no impact on that. But do support whatever metal you're using. You have to support it with wood in the corners, on the sides, that type of thing. So it's okay to do that. Now, if it's really, really rusted, you might want to be careful on that to know, because that's the inside metal on there. No longer has that protective coating on there. So do be careful if it's rusted on the dirt side, especially of the corrugated metal in that way. If that makes sense to you guys. Hey, Teresa, hi. So we're getting Kentucky in here. Kentucky and Mississippi. Some other possibilities for making beds. are using stones or rock. If you have that in abundance around you in your property or whatever, and it's like everything that you dig up is just rocks. Everything. I think of Green Dream Project. Their soil in Arizona is just rocks. Every time they're digging up stuff, it's just rocks. Well, take those rocks and actually make beds out of them. And probably do a couple layers so that you don't lose a lot of soil. A couple layers sort of means like side by side as you're going up instead of just one single rock. If you have a lot of rocks or something, but do that so that you're not losing a lot of water and soil out of the cracks in there. Again, you could take where you have the rock or stone borders, you could always put some plastic on there too, so that you won't lose anything off the sides. But that would be a very free to cheap alternative for you. If you know a farmer nearby who's got a field that's just like so many rocks, because a lot of farmers will have like a huge pile in their field somewhere, like off in the corner or something, that they have been collecting every year, and just they don't have any place to put them, so they'll just make a pile, and you go check with the farmer and say, hey, can I have some rocks if I haul them out of here? And usually they'll say yes, please. So that's always an option to think of. They would act as a heat sink somewhat, like concrete does. Are you talking about rocks, Megan? Okay, Sunny, that's great. Yeah, terracing with raised beds. Raised beds are perfect for a slope. That's so great. Yeah, the other one is concrete blocks too. If you're worried about any chemicals from the concrete blocks, depending on where you get them from or what they were used for or how they were made, you can always line them or seal them with a polymer paint. You could do that. So assuming they're somewhat larger. They're really not going to, I don't think they would do too much heat damage. Now, if you're, in Texas or Arizona, that might be a different story. If it were that, I would probably not grow something right up close to the edge. Maybe make the beds a little bit bigger and then just start growing like 8 to 12 inches in or something, so that the roots aren't right close to the rocks if they're getting a lot of sun. But that's a good point, Megan. I didn't, nobody came across that in any of the blogs I was reading. So, yeah, that could be it. Concrete blocks are really good. You can, set them on the side, and then you can fill them with soil. You can fill them with rock. You could fill them with whatever, so that things aren't growing up in the middle of them. But you wanted to keep keep it warm going into winter. That could do too. So, it's just again, just experimenting with things. We're just trying to find different ways, different means, alternatives to either buying pre-made beds or trying to get wood that's really expensive right now and building them. So, but rocks are an excellent source, and I think as long as your soil is deep enough, Megan, you shouldn't have any problem either way. It should be okay. So anyway, yeah, concrete blocks, if you're worried about anything on there, you can actually seal them with a set of polymer paint. I don't have any brands or anything like that would indicate that, but yeah, polymer would be good. So that will seal up those blocks really well. You can also use bricks. If you can, somebody, is tearing down a brick house or has, there are places that you can get bricks really cheap and everything. And so, or free, if you're trying to help somebody and take them away or whatever from somebody's place. I don't know, you guys, is this moving? The chat just kind of stalled. So I don't know if it's going. And I don't want to refresh because that's what I did last week. And I lost you guys. So I just have to wait. Oh, there we go. Thank you. You're there. Thanks. So bricks, you could make, and it would take a lot of bricks to make like a 4x12 bed or something. But there again, like in your front yard, if you want to have some beauty there and kind of some landscape type of things rather than concrete blocks stuck in your front yard where the neighbors might get really upset with, something. But you can do bricks, so you can actually like even make curves out of them and different things. And, and there's landscape bricks, but I'm just thinking of the old red bricks that you could find piles of somewhere. Seamless guttering companies use aluminum to shape the aluminum. You can use a flat metal inverted at the ends. Yep, there's a lot of different things you could do. Oh, that's so cool, Monty. That's great. Yes, bricks. That would make a beautiful bed too. And again, if you're afraid of losing the soil and water out through the cracks of the brick, I would just, line it with some heavy-duty plastic, at least just on the side. You don't have to do the bottom, but at least on the sides, so that you don't have to worry about all that. Another one is synthetic lumber. Now, there again, you're probably getting really pricey, but it will last. That's kind of like the stuff that they make decking out of, that kind of thing. You could use pots to actually make, just put them really close. I don't know, do they make square pots? I don't think I've ever seen square pots. But anyway, you can just line up pots too and pretend that they're raised beds. Or, if you have a big container of something, I've seen people use like old, boats and different things. Like, we call them duck boats here, but I know that, or a canoe or something, and just like fill them all with pots and then have that to grow out of, that type of thing. So, yeah, aluminum won't rust. Okay, comes in different colors. Awesome, that'd be great. Your dad repurposed 2 aluminum doors he had laying around, built a V-shaped wrist. So great. Oh, that's awesome. That's true, Christina. Yeah. So some of these things you have to just kind of, determine for yourself if it's something that you are willing to do. For myself, I don't want to have chemicals, any possibility of chemicals leaching in. So the area is classier than here. People planting toads, bathtubs. Oh, yeah, whatever. That's right, Sonny. It's like ingenuity at work. Exactly. So another thing you can do is get some food grade UBC totes. The great big things everybody's getting to store water in. You could take those, cut them in half, and use those as a raised bed thing. You'd want to drill some holes in the bottom so that they can, let water out and stuff like that. But again, make sure it's food grade, so that you don't have any of the bad chemicals and stuff like that going in. There's, I know people have taken like fiberglass containers and different things, and you can have these anywhere from 8 inches high to 4 feet high, depending on what you want to use it for, your abilities, how much soil you have available, because the deeper it is, the more soil it's going to take, how big you're making it, where you're putting it. And like Sunny, if she's terracing them, she's going to need them a little deeper in order to be able to go into the hillside so that everything doesn't get washed away. So, there's there's all kinds of different considerations that you have. So, yep, you can use water totes. It's all junkiest laying around. Yeah, just get really, really creative with what you have. And, you know, I don't want to have you dumpster diving or anything, but, you know, peruse the junkyard, see what people are maybe have laying around in their junk piles at home, on the farms or whatever, and just ask. And, you know, I mean, the worst they can do is say no, get off my property. You know, it's like, but if you're friendly and you know these people, you know, it's just like, say, you know, I've noticed that you've had this pile of stuff for a long time, and I was just wondering if you intend on using it, or is this something I could buy from you or trade something for you with or whatever. It's like, I really need to build some raised beds and I can't afford the lumber right now, but I was just wondering if we could work something out. So, you know, it's all in how you approach people and what you want to do. So, the things you do want to avoid. Okay, let me catch this up. So you got a couple of mineral totes. So your kids gonna need minerals for the cows in. Okay. Two junkies. Well, hey Connie, thanks for coming in. That's totally fine. Planting strawberries in gutters in northern Indiana did not work well. Okay, that's interesting, because I've seen other people use the gutters for strawberries, and I was wondering how that worked other places. So, great idea, Donna. Old wheelbarrows. Yep. Yeah, find all kinds of things. It doesn't have to be, you know, this beautiful. You know, I mean, it'll still be beautiful, but it doesn't have to be this structured, you know, high quality wood type of thing that, you know, that we see all over Etsy and stuff. So, you know, just use whatever you can. Just make sure it's going to be okay for you nutritionally, different things like that. But yeah, an old wheelbarrow, put a bunch of herbs in there. Let that be your herb garden, or just mint garden, because it's not going to go anywhere other than in the wheelbarrow. You know, different things like that. So also the things that you have are going to be dependent on the kind of food that you're growing too. So if you're going to be growing carrots or other deep root vegetables, you don't want to have something that's going to only be 6 inches deep. You know, you want to have something that's going to be at least 15 inches, because those roots need to really go down. So whatever you're using, make sure that you coincide that with the vegetables or the food that you're growing in there too. So lots of people in the country have buildings somewhere on the property is falling down. Yep, absolutely. No, it's so true, Sunny. Yep. We, you know, yeah, there's always constantly construction going on and things falling apart and different stuff going on. So it's just a matter of keeping your eyes open. And, you know, through the winter, if you are in the north and it's all snowy, at least keep your eye open for it and see what you can collect and just bring home. In the south, you could actually, whatever you find, you could actually start building and putting together and having it all ready for when you start growing in February or March or whenever it is you start growing, or January. I don't know. That's so foreign to me. Okay, there are two absolute things that you don't want to be growing in. That I know there's probably more, but you don't want to be growing in with railroad ties, or using the beams, the railroad ties that you get, because they are saturated with creosote, and the chemicals coming off of that are just, they would be so intense. So you don't want to be doing that. You also don't want to burn with those. So, the other thing are, hey Sunny, how are you doing? You also And I know a lot of people use these, but you don't want to use tires because the chemicals that come out from the rubber when they get hot and everything, and it soaks into the soil, and you will be getting all of that into your vegetables. So if you have tires, save them for flowers that you're not using for medicinals at all. But you know, a lot of people will take tires and actually stack them and use them for growing potatoes. Because it's like, okay, the potatoes will get up so high, and then they'll put on another tire, fill in some dirt, and then it starts growing up more. They'll put another one on. So they'll stack 5 or 6 tires up, and then they have all of these potatoes in there. But especially when you're growing in the heat and everything, it just leaches everything right in there. So really, don't use tires. Before we go, I don't know if Grammy Karen is still here or not, but I want to just thank all my mods so much for being here, and you guys are just awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope everybody's doing well. Hey, Carrie, a 3-inch metal pipe that was welded to the top of your gate fell off tonight and landed on the top of your head. Oh no. We'll definitely be praying for you. Okay, are you talking about the potatoes, Megan? Yeah, if you're using fencing and straw for potatoes, that's totally fine. It's just you don't want to use tires. But I mean, you can use laundry baskets. I've seen that done before. So no, thanks, Karen. Yeah, you can use all this stuff. Sorry, the back is hurting. All right. Okay, garden tip for tonight. Oh, does anybody have any questions about any of the things? Did it give you some ideas? Did it help inspire you at all? I'm just wondering if it, you know, if it kind of gets you thinking outside the box. No pun intended, but thinking outside the garden box. You know, start looking at things in a totally different way. You know, like I said, laundry baskets you can use. You know, oh, that's great, Alicia. That's so good. Yeah, it's like, don't think of raised beds as this huge, daunting project, or it's like, oh, I can't have any garden because I don't have all this stuff. It's like, go find whatever you can in that way. So it's really, really good. Oh, thanks, Karen. Yeah, you take care. We'll see you over on the other one. So garden tip for tonight, use your leaves. Now I know there are a couple leaves, like a particular oak that has a lot of tannins in it and stuff like that, and it's not good for your garden bed soil. I mean, you can still put it in like your compost and everything, but most trees, the leaves are excellent. So not only is it good for raking your lawn, when you're raking them up, it's good for your grass and your lawn to be having. It's like brushing your hair. You know, it's really good. It stimulates the grass and everything. But you use the leaves as mulch, building up the bulk in your garden beds, but then add it to your compost pile too. So those are really, really great things to use with that. Use them to cover your beds for the winter, you know, insulating, all that kind of stuff. So you love the idea about using the rocks lined with plastic. Okay, awesome. You know, that'll make a beautiful bed, and it's like, they'll last forever, you know. If you're looking for containers, lots of people are decluttering plastic totes. Oh, that's true. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's a whole nother thing, with getting the soil and trying to figure that out. So maybe we'll have to talk about that one day and try to get some other ideas with that. So, well, thank you, Monty. Oh, I'm so glad. Thanks so much. You grew out of grocery bags. Oh, That's awesome. So you just figured out something there. Leaves are great, yes. Your friends and family package and love, and they. That's so true. Oh, that's so great. Um, hey, Dave. I know the time change too. It's like, oh, I'm sure that didn't help. You made a planter out of the bottom half of a tomato joe that you had. Sweet. It's a kitty corn. Um, oh, there you go, Megan. Using logs too. You know, if you're on a piece of land or something, you've got a lot of smaller logs. Just stack up the logs and use them too. It is that. So I mean, that's always a possibility. So, are you serious, Alicia? Oh my goodness! Wow. Heuristic traditions. Okay, no problem. So yeah, use your leaves. And then our prep tip for tonight, keep an eye out for what is flying off the shelves in the stores. Not just food, but anyway, if it's something that you typically use and maybe you don't have enough of, make sure you get it early enough. But just keep an eye out for those things. I mean, if you never eat ramen and it's flying off the shelf, don't worry about it. Don't buy ramen. But if you use oatmeal and all of a sudden you see it diminishing really quickly, it's like maybe you want to get a couple extra canisters of oatmeal or something. So use that assessment for food, for clothing, for any supplies, for your gardens, your animals, anything like that. So that's awesome, Dave. That's so good. Oh no, Kiri, that's so true. I'm glad that you went to somebody. So I mean, that's anytime you get bonked on the head like that, it's you have to be so careful. So, all right, guys. I think I'm done for the night. So you guys take care and thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys are adjusting to the time change. Fall is always easier for me. Spring is a hard time change for me to adjust to. But well, that's good, Carrie. That's so true. Thank you guys. I will. Thanks, Alicia. All right, guys. Take care and God bless, and always have hope. And we will see you next week. So take care. Bye-bye.